What's up, everybody? Anton Curley here from dropshiplifestyle.com. I hope you are doing well, staying healthy, and of course, making a lot of money with your online store. Now, today's episode is going to be answering a question that we get a lot, and that question is, how much should I spend on Facebook ads? I'm going to break this down into 3 different possible stages because how much you want to spend and how much you should spend really depends on where you are in your business. And I'm going to give you some basic guidelines that will help you have the most effective Facebook ads possible. Now, I do want to say before we get into this episode, if you are new to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. And if you get value from this video, please do give it a like and leave a comment below. We post multiple new trainings every week, and you definitely want to be subscribed and be active in the community if you want to be sure to be alerted. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into today's episode. So like I mentioned, I'm going to break this down into 3 different stages. And stage 1 is for everybody that's either just getting started or anybody out there that doesn't have a big ad budget or a big bankroll. Basically anybody that is looking to optimize for the maximum amount of return on investment in ads, or another way to say that is return on ad spend. So this is what you want to do if for every dollar that you put in, you are looking to get the most money back out. And this is actually a very simple equation. So I should mention, if you are part of Dropship Lifestyle and you are part of our community and you've been through our program, you know that we put almost all of our ad budget into Google Ads, specifically very targeted Google Shopping ads. And the reason that we do that is because it brings in very, very qualified traffic, meaning visitors, to our stores. So by the time people find us, they're basically ready to buy. They know what they're looking for. We just have to do our job to turn them into a customer. Again, that's traffic that's coming from Google Ads. Now, with Facebook, we don't like to be out in front because when we do that, and we'll talk about this in later stages, we see less money back in terms of return on investment, in terms of return on ad spend. And the reason is because the people aren't as ready to buy. But what we do in the beginning, even from a brand new store, and what you should do as well in stage 1, is focus 90% of your ad budget on that Google Shopping and on very targeted campaigns. Bring those qualified leads to your business, and then you want to take, you'll have people that buy and then you'll have people that don't buy. What you want to do is take 10% of your total ad budget for the month, and you want to put that into Facebook dynamic product ads. Now, you got to be careful when you're setting these up because there's different audiences you could target, meaning there's different people you can show these dynamic product ads to. But the people that you want them to show to are these targeted people that came to your website, but that didn't buy. They're going to get put into the audience that sees the products again, that can bring them back, that can have them buy. Now, if you set this up correctly, the way it works is the person that was on your website who didn't complete their checkout, when they go on Facebook later, they're going to see the actual product image for whatever product page they were on your store. They're going to see a custom message from you. Maybe that even has a coupon code for them to give them some incentive. And it's going to send them, when they click on it, directly back to the product page that they were already on. Now, think of this like 2 different ways, right? The audience that we're targeting, they're super targeted because they already were on our website and they came to us from a targeted search. And when they click the thing, they're going back to exactly what they were looking at. So because of those 2 factors, we don't need to spend a huge amount of money here, and it's money very, very well spent. So as far as actual dollar amounts for how much money this should be, just take 10% of your total advertising budget for that month. So let's just say hypothetically, you said next month my ad budget is $1,000. That's what I want to spend. Okay, that's fine. My advice to you would be to put $900 into a targeted, optimized Google Shopping campaign, and then take $100 and use it for Facebook in a dynamic product ad remarketing campaign that's only showing to targeted website visitors that didn't complete their purchase. This is stage 1, and I'll be honest, a lot of people stay at this stage forever because they just want as much cash coming out as possible. And if you're looking for, again, the super high return on investment, the super high return on ad spend, this is the system that's going to get you that. And I should also say these numbers do scale accordingly. So if you were willing to spend $10,000 on traffic in a month, or if you already were, I would say take $1,000 and put that into your Facebook dynamic product ads for remarketing. Now let's move on to the second stage out of the 3 we will be covering in this video. So stage 2 This is what you want to do, or at least should consider doing, as you start to have more of an ad budget, as your business is more and more profitable, as you start to have that bankroll. And what you can do in stage 2 is maintain a good ROI, solid return on ad spend, with bringing in new sales. So these are kind of like additional sales that you might not have gotten anyway. These are sales that, people already went to your website, they saw your Facebook dynamic product ads, but they didn't buy right away. So what can we do to spend a little bit more money, but be able to bring in more sales volume on the top line? Well, what you want to do is every time there is a holiday or a reason for you to have a promotion, so I'm just going to write holiday because that's usually when they fall, is you want to create Facebook ads. Now, the Facebook ads that you are running are going to be showing to a few different audiences. And the audiences that they're going to be showing to are, I'm just writing WV, that's for website visitors. They're also going to be showing to everybody that has engaged with your Facebook and Instagram pages. So in Facebook Business Manager, I teach you this all the way inside of Dropship Lifestyle. So if you're a member, just go into the course. It's a lot easier to follow. You see like inside of the ad account and everything. If you want to learn more about that, go to dropshipwebinar.com. But for everybody that just wants to watch this one, again, we're sending these holiday promotion ads to retarget all previous website visitors and also to everybody that has engaged with our Facebook and Instagram pages because they're a little bit warmer, right? They already have some sense of who we are. And on top of that, if you want to be willing to experiment a little bit more with your ad budget, what you can also do is show these holiday promotion ads to a lookalike audience of your best customers. Now, a lookalike audience is people that have similar traits to a certain segment of people. So in this scenario, what we would do is pull a report from Shopify of the customers that have spent the most money with us in the past year. And then we would build this lookalike audience in Facebook off of that. And we would show them these ads for our holiday promotions as well. Again, this one right here, the lookalikes are going to have the lowest return on ad spend and the lowest ROI, but something that if you're willing to experiment with it, you should consider adding in here. Now, let's talk about how much money you should be spending if you move to stage 2. And by the way, this is in addition to stage 1. So as we advance, you don't stop doing what you were doing, you just add this on. You do it as a new campaign. So to calculate how much money you should be spending on Facebook here, you use this equation, and bear with me here, we'll go through it, but you do audience size, you divide that by 1,000, so I'll put that in brackets, then you multiply that by your CPM in Facebook. And if you don't know what that is, I'll explain it in just a moment. And then you multiply that by how many times you want everybody in your audience to see your ad. So let's just use some real numbers here to make some more sense. Let's say that I was going to do a holiday promotion for the 4th of July, and I wanted it to show to my website visitors and to people that have engaged with my Facebook and Instagram page. Now, inside of your Facebook account, Facebook will actually show you how many people are in your audiences. So let's use round numbers here again for math. And let's say Facebook shows me that this audience size I have is 100,000 people in my remarketing audiences that I can show ads to. So for the purpose of this, again, to keep numbers simple, I'm going to exclude lookalike of best customers. But let's say my audience size is 100,000. I'm going to divide that by 1,000 and I'm going to get 100. Okay, so that's my first number here in brackets. Then what I want to do is multiply that by my CPM. Now, CPM, the number there, the amount, is how much money it costs you to reach 1,000 people. So for 1,000 people to see your ad. Now, this number you can guess at, but the best way to get it is to go into Facebook if you're already running ads, and Facebook will show you your CPM, and it'll show you it for different audiences. Again, if you've already ran ads there. So let's just say you go back, you're looking at your campaigns from stage 1, and you see that your CPM is $5. So for 1,000 people to see your remarketing ads to those audiences, you see historically it's been $5 on average. So that's the second thing you plug in here. And then finally, the number you want to look at is how many times do you want people to see your ads. And by people, I mean specific people. So let's say out of these 100,000 people, I say I'm running my 4th of July promotion. I want everybody to see my ads at least 4 times. Maybe it's a 4-day long event. I want them to see an ad day 1, then day 2, then day 3, then day 4. Then I would plug in 4 here into this equation. So that's obviously here, times seen. So we simply do the math, and we have 100 times 5, which is 500, and then we have 500 times 4, which is 2,000. So there we go. This is how much money I recommend spending on your stage 2 ads. It's the amount, it's your audience size for how many people you want to target, divided by 1,000 times your CPM. Again, you should be able to pull this from your Facebook account, times the amount of times you want each person to see your ad. So that's why I can't just give you a number and be like, oh, you should spend $500 in stage 2, or you should spend $10,000 in stage 2, because the number that you're going to get is dependent on the factors that you input into the equation. But if you do this right and you set up your ads correctly, I mean, that's a topic for another day. Again, something I teach in detail in Dropship Lifestyle. But when you're setting your ads up, you should be sure that you're setting them to show at a maximum frequency of X amount of times per day per person, so that this number holds true. If you don't do that, then your numbers might be all over the place. But this is how we do it. This is how we pick how much money to spend in stage 2 per promotion. Okay, so moving right along here, we're going to get into stage 3. And stage 3 is something that most people will never do. Again, stage 2, even a lot of people don't do. The reason being is because stage 3 is going to have your lowest return on ad spend, lowest return on investment in ads, but it has the possibility of bringing in a lot of additional customers. So why don't more people do this and, try it? The reason being is because if you're going to do this, or at least try to, you really do need a substantial budget that you're willing to basically lose. And the reason I say that is because with stage 1, you know who's seeing your ads, and your return on ad spend is going to be great pretty much with whatever you do. With stage 2, if you set up your targeting correctly and you set up your ads correctly, again, it still should be very profitable because your ads are showing to people that have already shown interest or are most likely to. With stage 3, this is something you might consider when you're at the point where your store is you're crushing it, right? You're doing multiple millions of dollars in sales every year. Your stage 1 and stage 2 ads are totally dialed in. Your Google campaigns are dialed in. You're at like where you think is at least peak scale. And then you're like, okay, where can I find an additional source of customers? Where can I bring in another flow? And that's really the only time that most people would even consider doing this. So keep that in mind. Don't think this is something you have to do or even should do. So first, let me talk about why this has a low return on ad spend, and then I'll talk about what this actually looks like. When you're at this stage, really what you're looking to do is come up with something that you can give away to different website visitors for free, something that would provide value to them, right? So maybe it's a buying guide, maybe it's some type of downloadable resource that would really benefit them. And what we're trying to do is put this free thing out as bait on Facebook. So what we're doing here in this stage is we're making Facebook ads. And our ads are saying, hey, we have this free buying guide, we have this free resource, whatever it is. And when the person clicks that ad, they're not going to buy anywhere. What we're doing is sending them to a landing page on our website where they can see the free thing, and we ask for their email, and they put in their email and they get the free thing. And then what we're doing is following up with that lead via email in an email sequence, trying to turn that visitor and that lead into a customer. Now, as you can imagine, the person that is on Facebook that clicks an ad for a free thing is nowhere near as likely to buy as somebody that clicks a targeted Google Shopping ad. That's why the return on ad spend is lower, because these are people that might just be freebie seekers. These are people that might have no buying intent at all. But this is a way that, if done right, can still make you more money in your e-commerce store and can open up your sales channels. Again, don't do this until your store is absolutely crushing it and you're doing amazing. When you're doing this, something else that's different is who you're showing these ads to. So this is when we start getting on Facebook into things like interest-based targeting. So if we were selling something like surfboards, maybe on Facebook, we would be targeting people that showed interest in surfing or specific surfers or surfboard brands. So again, it's pulling people in that are, they're in their interest area, but they're not there with their credit card out, like what store should I buy from? But again, this can work. So if you want to do this, how much money should you spend? Well, my advice is you should be able to get at least 1,000 leads to go through your funnel. What do I mean by funnel? I mean, you want at least 1,000 people that click your ad, that go to your landing page, that give you your email address, and then give you their email address, I should say, and then receive all of the follow-up emails in your sequence. The reason you want at least 1,000 people to do that is so you can have a good sample size. So with email marketing, I mention this all the time, it still makes up over 30% of our monthly revenue, so you should be doing it. But what you're gonna realize, even if you have 1,000 people opt in, maybe only 500 of them will open that first email. And out of that 500 that open that first email, maybe you'll have, only 300 that click the link. And by email, whatever it is, 5, 6, 7 of your email sequence that you build, you might have only 500 people that really make it to the end, that last till the end, out of that 1,000. So the reason you want to give them all a chance to go through is so you can see what this conversion rate actually looks like. Maybe it's going to be that you have 1,000 people go through and no one buys. Maybe you have 1,000 people go through and 5 people buy with an average order value of $1,000. Maybe you have 10 people buy, maybe you have 20. The point is you don't know until you have this sample size. So how much money should you spend here to get the best effect? Well, that's going to be based on your cost per lead. So if, for example, you set up your Facebook campaigns like this and your cost per lead turned out to be $3 on average, that would mean you should be willing to invest at least $3,000 in leads to get that 1,000 in, to get them through, to track the data, and then make a decision on what you want to do moving forward. And again, the reason I say this is something that people should hold off on, if do whatever, is because if you're going to do this, I would tell you, be prepared to lose that $3,000 because there's a lot of things here that have to go right between targeting, between quality of leads, between how good your downloadable resources, between how good your follow-up emails are. You need to get a lot of things to happen to make this work. But with that being said, I know people do have interest in this. So as far as how much you should spend, take your cost per lead in stage 3, times that by 1,000, get them in, get them through, then make decisions on how to scale or not scale. So guys, as always, I hope you found this video helpful. Remember, these are the 3 stages. Stage 1 is where most of your money is going to be made as far as Facebook ads go. And from there, just scale up when and if you're ready. And as always, if you are watching this and you got value, please do give the video a like and leave a comment below. Definitely click the subscribe button if you're not subscribed to the channel already. And if you're brand new and you want to know how to build a highly profitable, semi-automated online store, check the link in the description and it goes to dropshipwebinar.com where I show you how to build highly profitable, semi-automated online stores. So thank you, everybody. Appreciate you, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye. Hey, what's up guys? Anton here again, and I hope you got some real value out of that video you just watched. If you did, you should definitely check out this one or this video right here. I do 2 new ones every week. You'll see a subscribe button right here. And if you want my free training that is 2.5 hours long of value with 237 niches, click this button right down here. It'll take you to where you need to go.